don't recognize my real beat. Tell a devil he can eat a tick. Real split, fastly out of luck, cause I'm bugged by the down on the slugs. But it's cause I'm jealous, frustrated, eating the slugs. Fast 4,795 months, cause it's gonna take over for the line. One sip of all glass, never in the jaw. Lady liberties and trying to got a kick in the balls. It's about just cause, every beat has balls or close with us. Can't even call for help. All we have is so-called knowledge of self. Even that's when you make the whole body is kept. More money, more problems, we're buying more debt. Generational weapons at the bottom of the web. Solitary confinement in a mighty concept. In a language, no man grew on the bottom being kept. That cards with a loose way back for the wealth. From the terror in the eyes to the vision of the youth. D4, B4, about to see both units in the city in the top. That's me, no. Separate away from the style. That's chemo, sabi, no weed, no molly. Act B4, lottie, that Hollywood shit is for the birds. Frankly, I'm really perturbed. Just anything what served. The people that deserve. The hero reserved. The hero emerged. The people in a place where the race that emerged. The legal got to see no tolerance. The ego tolerance. I see no point why we so complicated. Cold, paying hell, witness hell, freezes over here. The only thing colder is the step of a warrior. The talent selling water down. The truth is always over here. And go to the end. We go to the lies of the dead and the money in the end. Class food, no question, no game. From questions connected with shots out there. Fox backing like some rock stars. Feeling like a stock drop. Everything top notch when they want to hop top. Fuck, this is like some titties out of crop top. City on rock, fuck. Nigga do it, nigga fucking back walk. Everybody back off. 3, 2, 1, finna blast off. Trip a bitch, how they do it in a dance off. WWE on the freak, J Dev off the beat, so it's always eat. No, we always eat too. Liquid making out of eat too. Holy is the priest, is superior to preachers fucking blood and drink. The condition of my people is with evil from religion, and the alternate opinion is an enemy of God. Getting rich, robbed, murdered, forgot. With a victim mentality, we created up aside with the makeup on. So rules for rise, accused by the lies they lie. This is all they fault, this is all they fault. By day, I mean white folk, all babies, cavemen. The synagogue of Satan's on mind, all this place that I'm a stupid and I'm high. I was high, people saying niggas born super saiyan, going business, some niggas go to church, that's big and that cross, that hangman, and praying for maintaining all these homes, but to break that hold, I rip the soul out with a switchblade. Let it know not to be bitch-made. You'll find out on this day. It's the Lord's battle, so shit tame. A cold day in hell, witness hell, freezes over you. The only thing colder is the step of the warrior. The talent selling water down. The truth is always over you. And go to the end. Doing the lies of the dead and trying to make amends.
It is Tuesday, you know what I'm saying, as always, it's Priest Officer Uriah, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, where we are led by the amazing Commanding General Yohana, man. So today, it is Brotherhood class, man, I'm gonna start off the class, just by giving some prayers out, to them brothers down there in South Carolina, man. One time for my brother, Precinct Officer Makataza, you will be Miss Warrior. May you rise again, man, in all glory and righteousness, brother. You know what I'm saying? So, just to move forward, with today's lesson. It's gonna be finishing off the second part of a two-part series that I've been working on. First side of it last week was given to you that a man is not worth his monetary value or what's consisted within his bank account. And financials is not what makes a man. This week class is going to be over that a woman's box or her sexual organs is not what makes her to be a woman, and it's not what classifies her as a good woman. A good woman is not classified by what's between her legs or her beauty. So again, this is Tuesday Brotherhood class, man, where we go over, what can be considered the foundation of a nation. If a nation is not built off brotherhood, you don't have a nation full of people that despise one another, man. You'll have a nation full of marriages that won't stand. You'll have a nation just full of, shortcomings, or frivolous relationships like what we have today. Because our mindset, toward men and women a man has to be worth the money that he makes, and a sister is only worth is about how beautiful she is, man. But without further ado, gonna get started. I'm going to my first scripture. And some of them will be kind of repeats, but you know, it's kind of to push across that same message, man. So, first scripture, today's lesson is going to be the book of Genesis, chapter 3, and verse 16. And this one we got to kind of push, you know what I'm saying? This is what the Most High said. The Most High said, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow shalt thou bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. So now, this what the Lord is describing to the woman, that what her life is going to be, it's not going to be one of immense pleasure. It's not one that she will be enjoying for self. And again, like I said last week, you know, you got sisters that consider it a burden for bearing children. But this is where a woman's work, or at least, you know, what men look for women for, especially here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You know, now if you have older sisters, of course, you know, don't try to knock them up, or, you know what I'm saying, they may not want to have children. But as for young sisters seeking husbands, or men looking for younger women, we look for, you know, someone to have children with. Put your shirt down, son. Stop. Turn around. Face forward. Thank you. You know, and he said, in sorrow shalt thou bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband. When a woman begins to desire what her husband wants, she'll lose that selfish lust that most women have. Most women have a selfish lust to live unadulterated, to live just as lascivious as they can think of. But the Lord said, you make your desire to thy husband, whatever he wants, whatever he conspires in his mind. That's what will be your desire, because all you will ever want is your husband. Your wants will be his wants. That's what's going to come about in these children. A lot of women, like I say, you know, they plagued our sisters with thinking that you can't have a strong life, or a good life with children. And you know, most of the women who perpetrate that thing be the sisters that got 3-4 kids, 2 baby daddies. And they'll be the ones that tell a young sister, you know, you don't have to have the baby if you don't want to have the baby. But then you got 3 kids because you done lived your life. You just don't want a man to tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying? But that's all right, because we're going to fix that here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. We have brothers that are willing to guide sisters. And their guidance doesn't come with what's consistent within your box. We ain't worried about the WAP. We worried about what's in your mind, and what are your hands trained to do? Because there are necessities, there are qualifications to having a husband, a good husband if you want one. And it comes with your hands. Your hands is what begins to build the worth of a woman. Not her sexual organs, man. Not her box, not her butt, not her breast. Those things do not add value. Those things depreciate over time. Like a car. You go buy a car, and it's gonna have some nice tires on. It's gonna have a good front end on it, a good back end on it, and after a while, wear and tear begins to happen. That's a woman. After about 25 and 3 kids, that body don't look like nothing when it come out the clothes. It just started falling. Unless most shout out to, Officer Ryan, you know what I'm saying, him in the contest, but in the world, them sisters do not have it together. They don't. And it's not what's gonna keep a man. The damn sure does not equate to your worth, sis. It just doesn't. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna drop that. We're gonna push on to the book of Genesis, chapter 18, verse 12. This is recorded in the Bible. You know what I'm saying, about a sister who considered her box, or who considered having pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Our foremother, Sarah, saying with Abraham. You know what I'm saying? Because she thought her worth was lack. This is how spiritual and how on point the Bible is. That we don't even have a clue to what's regarded within these records. Because when Sarah couldn't bestow upon Abraham a son, that tarnished her self-esteem. So she did all she could do. Because like the first scripture say, her desire was her husband. Abraham wanted children, but his wife Sarah couldn't bear children at that time, even though the Lord had promised her a son before. She took it upon herself to do what the Lord already said was going to be done, and gave him her handmaiden Hagar. Not for the box. She gave him Hagar for what she could produce for him, which was a son. And Abraham loved Ishmael. Loved him. Loved him so much. You know what I'm saying? Up until, that's another story for another time. We'll get into that later. But in this scripture, book of Genesis, chapter 18, verse 12, where we go up. Now Abraham and Sarah were old, well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, after I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being also old? So this is Sarah listening in to, listening to a conversation she shouldn't even be paying attention to, like all women do. Nosy is here. But she thinking about her pleasure. She's thinking about living pleasurably. And this is part of the problem within our community, because we have stereotypes and all types of stigmas and things out there, music videos and what you call influencers out there that will have these sisters believing that, to live your life, pleasurably is living. But in this point, you know what I'm saying, the Lord just letting Abraham know, yeah, you gonna have a son, man, and she gonna give it to you. She thinking about the sex instead of thinking about what comes from the box, or at least doing what her husband wants. And he wants children. You know what I'm saying? So like nowadays, you got sisters that believe that to make a man happy, or for people to be happy with you, you just gotta give it up. Give up the whack. Nah, man. Nah, because that's not what makes you whole. That's not what brings you worth or self or value, or it shouldn't be what you believe brings you self-value. Because truth be told, the more a woman gives it up, the more destroyed she becomes. The more pleasure that a woman seeks to have with that thing that's in between her legs is the more she destroys herself. I mean, I've had conversations with sisters countless of times, you know, and they'll be mad, you know, they you know, the ones, y'all know the ones, you know, the ones, all brothers ain't this and brothers ain't that, and can't never find a man that actually want to stay with me, and woo. Well, you know why brother don't never want to stay? Brother don't want to stay because you didn't keep it a secret. It was told in the hood it was good, and he came to see. And you know what? You showed him it was true. You showed him it was all good. It was all good for him to have it, Tyrone to have it, Lee to have it, Roy to have it. Anybody can have it. So now you mad at brothers because brothers don't want to stay around. But sis, you didn't regard your body. You didn't regard your self-esteem or your mental well-being. You didn't do that. But what's so heavy about this school is that we teach our sisters, as well as our sisters, to teach these daughters that we have coming up in here. Your box is precious, man. That it's not for pleasure. That's what seals a deal between you, the man you give it to, and the Most High. That box got one key, and it ain't for happiness. It ain't for joy. And if you do happen to find joy from giving it, you give it to that one man, and you give him children to raise. You give him your life, because that's what that's for. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna push forward. We're gonna go to let's see, the book of 1 Peter. Go to the bathrooms. I'm sorry. You know how to cut the light on? We should have it. We should be alright. It's a lot here, y'all. Got my son in class with me. He was saying, hey, that boy just wanted to come be with his father, man. You know, here's another thing. You know, we raise our sons up here, man, to not be whoremongers, man. So I'm actually kind of glad to have my son here in this class with me, even though he's not old enough to grasp what's being talked about or what's being spoke on. He's still here. These are principles to raise your children on, man. That you know, every man is gonna have to teach his son that life ain't about just getting boxed. You know, we used to say that stuff in the world, you know. Well, my son, he gonna start getting some, and I'm throwing right on, son. Nah, man, that's wicked. You know what I'm saying? And people like Lil Boosie, who would openly take your son and to pay for a prostitute for your son, that's wicked. And it's disgusting, man. Like, it's disgusting. That is a disgusting and vile thing to do to a child that knows nothing about what you're teaching him or what you're telling him. And then what you're showing him will inevitably destroy that young man. Because that's how he's going to view a sister. You know what I'm saying? That's how he's going to view a sister. And that's not how you want your kids to view. That's not how you're going to want a young man to approach a sister. You would want a young man to approach a sister in the way of that we teach here. That you go to her father. And then by getting to know that sister's father, you'll get to know that sister, because you'll understand what's being put inside of that sister, What's being put inside of her mind? What is she learning? Who is she around? What type of things? What type of ideology is she growing up with? Like, I mean, I would like to give my son over to, let's just say, a pastor's daughter, as opposed to one of these priests inside the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. It would devastate me at the type of woman that he would get his hands on outside of the school. Because to her box is the prize. To her, he gonna have to put a ring on her finger. If he like, he gonna have to put a ring on it. But before the ring even got on her, she gave it up 1,000 times. You know, but that's neither here nor there. What's that going? Yeah, nah, we're gonna drop that. I'm gonna go to 1 Samuel. You know what I'm saying? Go to 1 Samuel chapter 25 and 18. Now, this is about another sister by the name of Abigail. Then Abigail made haste and we're gonna go to 14. But one of the young men told Abigail, Nabal's wife, saying, David sent messengers out of the wilderness to salute our master, and he railed on them. But the men were very good unto us, and we were not hurt, neither missed we anything, as long as we were conversing with them when we were in the field. So as long as, you know, these sisters was in the field and they talked to the men, you know what I'm saying, the men didn't hurt. You know what I'm saying? They were a wall unto us, both by night and day, all the while we were asleep. Salakia, all the while we were with them keeping the sheep. Now therefore know and consider what thou wilt do, for evil is determined against our master and against all his household, for he is such a son of Belial that a man cannot speak to him. And Belial is just saying, you know, he's a son of wickedness, that was a wicked man. So whenever you hear that reference of term, you know, a son of Belial, he's just wicked. He's just a wicked Negro, wicked Israelite. Then Abigail made haste and took 200 loaves and 2 bottles of wine and 5 sheep ready dressed, 5 measures of parched corn, and 100 clusters of raisins, and 200 cakes of figs, and laid them on asses. So this sister, she's preparing, you know, it's like our sisters, preparing camp meals, showing the work with their hands, man. Doing something that doesn't have anything to do with her body. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what, like this sister here, even though her husband was wicked, even though her husband was wicked, and these men sat out there about them while they took care of the sheep, and she knowing all the dangers, this sister is showing what her hands could do. And she's making all this to go out to the camp and to give this to the brothers. You know what I'm saying? We're going to read on. Said this. And she said to her servants, go on before me. Behold, I come after you. But she told not her husband Nabal. So she's, you know, she's sending this stuff out, and she's not telling her husband that she's doing this. She's just doing it. Because that's like my wife. You know, I hate to, well, not, I actually like to, because, you know, she did something, you know, wonderful for me a few weeks back. I had just helped someone with some concrete. My boots destroyed. And I mean, my wife, she knew I had to go to camp later on that day before I got off work. And she put her hands to them boots. I mean, the boots in her hand was literally the same color when she got done with them. She took all the concrete off and shined them bad boys up that day. I didn't know what the hell to think. I just like, I told her, I'm about to just go buy some. She said, why go buy some? These look like new. I said, God damn. Who told you to do this? She said, nobody. I just did it. I just knew you needed something to wear. And I wanted you to go to camp. Because she loves to do work for her husband. That's what sisters in the world miss. That they don't love to take care of their men. They think of it as like a slavery or being somebody's underling. But what the Lord told Eve that she was, or what the Lord told Adam he needed, was a helpmeet. That you got all these things that you do, but what you need is a helpmeet. And a brother's wife, she should do those things. It's not saying that a brother shouldn't come home and wash dishes. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that, sister, if you see that your husband has enough work on his plate, please make it your intention to assist that brother in whatever it is that he's doing, even if that's just him living. Every brother needs clean clothes. Every brother needs clean dishes. Every brother needs something to eat. Hell, you want something to eat too. So why not we just make it fair and square? Shit, you go ahead and take care of this one this time. Because his brothers up in the school who are awesome cooks. And not only are they awesome cooks, but they'll cook for their wives. And also they cook for the water. You coming up?
Yeah.
I get you a chair. I get you a chair. I got you a chair. This Brotherhood class, right?
Right.
I got you a chair, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? If y'all been paying attention, yes, we do got another officer, precinct officer, the Warrior Holler, by your holler, that just stepped in the building. Mighty priest, man, you know what I'm saying? He said he want to come up here. He get a little, you know, he want to get in on the lesson, but right now, you know. I say this sister, she bringing all this stuff out to the camp, you know, unbeknownst to her husband. And she rode, verse 20, and it was so, as she rode on the ass, that she came down to convert on the hill, and behold, David and his men came against her, and she met them. Now David has said, surely in vain I have kept all that this fellow had in the wilderness, so that nothing was missed of all that pertained unto him. And he hath requited me evil for good. Verse 22. And so and more also do God unto the enemies of David, if I leave all that pertain to him by morning light, any that pisseth against the wall. And when Abigail saw David, she hasted and lighted off the ass and fell before David on her face and bowed herself to the ground. And fell at his feet and said, upon me, my Lord, upon me let this iniquity be. And let thine handmaid, I pray thee, speak with thine audience to hear the words of thine handmaid. Let not, my Lord, I pray thee, regard this man of Belial, even Nabal, as his name is, so is he. Nabal is his name, and folly is with him. But in thine handmaid saw not the young men of the Lord whom thou didst send. So, you know, she went to go beseech David for her husband. This is what she did. You got sisters that can't have a wicked. They have a wicked man or a man that they're displeased with, and the first thing they'll go do is they'll go cheat on the brother with his enemy and get them to start fighting. This sister didn't do that. She went, found David, and beseeched David for her husband. Said, damn, don't fall on. Just let his sin be on me. This type of sister we dealing with. Not sisters that's just passing out the whack. She keeping that to her husband, no matter how wicked he is. This is what she sought to do with her hands. She trying to bring out food to him in his camp, and she finna go beg for your life. Right. many sisters we got out there in the world that just do this type of thing, man? It's none. It's slim to none. It's a fat chance of getting a sister
to regard her husband.
to regard her husband. So like,
If I may.
Go ahead.
I mean, the point. I don't want to bring it out so heavy because the scriptures give us the foundation of the rank and order so that we can be protected.
Right.
We always say here in the Isupk, Most High in Christ, because we understand that we can't do anything without the Most High in Christ.
Right.
And just like the Most High in Christ are above us, we are above our women.
Right.
Because they can't do anything without our protection.
That's right.
We are here to protect them. The scriptures say the first shall be last and the last shall be first. But think about the rank and order of your household. Your kid want anything, who's got to serve him? You do. The man and the woman have to serve that child. They have to protect him. They have to feed him. So technically, all of his wants are your obligation and duty.
Damn right. Hey man, Most High in Christ, huh? Because what the officer was saying, man, is so pivotal, because in the relationship structure between men and women outside the UPK, you know what I'm saying, outside the UPK, and it's not all, but it's a great deal of them. They don't learn, you know what I'm saying, to keep a happy husband is what helps to keep a happy home.
Right.
What we learn is, and I'm sure everybody in this room, if not in the room but on the internet, knows the coined phrase, happy wife, happy life.
Right.
But we've seen that with even the wealthiest of families, you can be giving your woman, I mean this, and I hate to bring them back up, but Will and Jada. You can't tell me that Will Smith, one of the most prestigious actors in the earth today, could not give his wife everything she wanted. So much so that she would keep her mind to her husband. No, this is the second time that she's been seen to have been found with another man outside of her marriage.
Right. If I may too.
Go ahead.
Because it's so heavy because we in this wicked place, we always get caught up in what we want.
Right.
What we want, what I want, what I'm feeling like.
Right.
When we all have a duty to one another. Our duties are different based off our roles. In the relationship structure. The Most High created us and he gave us Christ, who did his duty and died for all of us.
That's right.
So it's our duty as men to protect the gates of our household and take it a step further to rebuild the gates of our nation.
That's right.
That's what we are here to do. We are here to rebuild the gates of Israel so that we won't be getting gunned down in the streets. So that our women won't be getting beat out of nail salons by the Moab.
Man, because since you on there, give me the book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 2. You know what I'm saying? Because what the brother's saying is right on topic. And going into my scripture, man. Because yes, that your husband, he is that for you. He is your protector. He is what keeps you guided. I mean, not guided, but protected from those outside forces in the world.
Right.
When your husband gives you an order to be home before dark, it's not because he don't want you to go out and have fun.
Right.
It's because he understands the evil that's lurking at the club. Hell, sometimes outside Walmart. Especially in this day and age when we got black sisters that just wind up missing out of thin air, nowhere. They go into the store, just going to go get something to eat and never make it home. But it's because our mothers and our fathers, they don't put in the work to stay together. So that way there's an actual household that's functioning in the way it's supposed to. The man sets the laws, the wife gives out the laws, and she also adheres to the lawgiver.
Right.
So you can't be in the home bumping your gums, and then you want the kids to respect what you say, but you ain't respecting what your husband say, because the rank and the order structure is shown to be folly at this point. You showing it don't mean nothing. But give me that scripture.
Come. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And a man shall be as an hiding place.
He shall be as just an open door.
And hiding place.
He should be just a clear window.
A hiding place.
Your man is going to be as a hiding place. Go ahead,
From the wind.
From the wind. That's from trouble. Your husband is going to hide you from trouble. That's what sisters don't understand. You want to give that box up. Give it to somebody who's going to regard you as something that needs to be hidden. Yeah, some of these brothers, look, some brothers ain't even met my wife. That's how I treat my wife.
Right.
That is something I put away. She is at the crib, hiding. She is hidden from the world. That's how precious she is to me. That's how I feel about my possession.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But give me the book of Proverbs, matter of fact, give me the book of Proverbs, chapter 31. 31 and down to 10. Because I'm going to tell you, man, well, I'm going to finish off this one where you stopped off at. And convert from the tempest as rivers of water run in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. And just your husband is just going to keep you protected, man.
Right.
From everything that comes to bother you or to harm you. I mean, hell, even yourself. Your husband will be there. That's your counselor if you don't have a husband. That's the man that you come to about everything. Them other sisters on your job acting crazy. You go ahead and you talk to your husband so he can tell you how to beat the demons that's on those sisters. So then they'll be looking to you as, damn girl, well, why you act like this? So, oh damn, you just seem to be above all the mess. My rib come home and she tell me sometimes the sisters have to ask her, what are you doing? They're so different. That keeps you from out of everything that goes on in the warehouse. She said, I listen to my husband. I don't know what the hell y'all doing, but I got a man at home. And if you want a man at home, you can come to this school. And they got brothers for sisters if sisters need a man. We got enough of them.
Right.
And if you think there ain't enough, sometimes y'all just gonna have to double up. We like car seats. Yeah, we like bus seats. 2 to a seat. More if you need to. Because every sister deserves a good man. Especially a righteous man. One that's serving Christ, man.
Right.
And we ain't caring about no box. It's the last of it. I want to know, can you braid hair? I got three young ones that got wild hair. If you can't braid no hair, I don't know. Your resume looking kind of short. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? But
If I may say,
go ahead, huh?
The point is so heavy because we as men, we can do everything you can do.
Right.
I can, besides bearing children, I can make my own food.
Right.
I can clean my own laundry. I can clean up the house. I can rub my feet. I can do all that. But it's good to have that help, because just like it's like if I need to scratch my back, I can go ahead and find something to scratch my back. But it's much easier if I got you to scratch my back. If I'm scratching yours. And us looking after each other's backs is us playing our roles.
Right.
Like if I always, even in the world, I always knew, if just as a real brother,
Mm-hmm.
I always knew if anything pops off, and it doesn't even have to be my woman. If it's a woman with me, if she gets to an altercation, she's now out behind me.
Right.
She's behind me now. I'm the one stepping up. I'm the one diffusing the situation. However, it need to get diffused. We might be putting a pause on, or I might be able to diffuse it with my words.
Right.
But regardless of it, I'm taking it from here. you don't have to worry anymore about that situation.
Right.
And that's the protection of the Lord.
That's right.
That's why our households have been separated in the first place, so that our sisters don't have that protection.
Right.
So our children don't have that protection.
What did it say about the bind man? The strong man?
Before you could take a man's house, you first must bind up the strong man. Paraphrasing.
And that's so heavy in what he's saying, because the reason our sisters can even make the bold post of saying they feel unprotected is because you fight off your protection. How does it look that you got a gate around your home, and before anybody can come to break in the gate, you tear it down? Paraphrasing another scripture, it say a woman in her wisdom will build up her home with her hands, and then her folly will tear it down. It's foolishness that we live in these day and ages, that sisters have the gall to act in this way, act like monsters. You got some of us brothers who grew up in single parent homes with these single mothers, and your biggest enemy is the mother that raised you. I saw one video of a brother. He's in the room. He said he's about 17 years old, and his mother is cussing up a storm, packing his stuff up. He got her on live. She started going upside his head. I said that. Now granted, the young brother could have handled himself in a more poised of way, but when you get taught how to be an adult from a woman, not just how to be a man, because she can't teach you how to be a man. She can teach you adult things like they always want to say, you don't pay bills. Right. So they'll tell you certain things that get your mind ready to be an adult, but they don't teach you how to be a man. Right. He didn't know how to actually deal with an irate woman. You come in this school, we'll teach you how to deal with a loudmouth woman.
Yeah, right.
We'll teach you how to war with words with that woman. You'll never have to put your hands on it, and if she put her hands on you, there's still a protocol to deal with that. You get the hitting, the bricks. Right. You put your shoes on and you walk your tail outside. Right. That's what you do. And then you deal with that sister later, if she's able to be dealt with in that capacity. And there's always the cell phone. Most High in Christ for black men creating that. But, you know what I'm saying? Like the brother was saying, you know, there's a structure in this, man. There's a thing that a man does, and there's a thing that a woman does. And these roles are not given based off of your sexual organs or the money that's within your pockets, man. You got that for me? Proverbs 31:10. Start reading that.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman?
Stop. Now, you see sisters that'll post this scripture. They'll speak about being virtuous, and they have no knowledge of what it actually takes to be virtuous, or how to consider yourself virtuous.
Damn right.
Virtue is not you being soft-spoken when you're in a public place. Virtue is not wearing elegant clothes. Virtue is not being smart. Virtue is what you can do with your hands. Who can find a virtuous woman? Who can find her? Because nowadays, thus saith the songs, I don't cook, I don't clean, but I can still get that ring. This is what our sisters are learning today.
Right.
They're learning not to cook, not to clean, but still require being married, still require things of a man without being able to do anything. That's foolishness, man. That's what's going to continue to keep our nation divided. Not just from the Crips and the Bloods. And you ain't got to work. Before you can even reach the Crips and the Bloods, you got a household that's divided. And that has been divided. It's been divided since they began to give our sisters social help. Since they began to give our sisters food stamps and Section 8 and housing and whatever other programs that they can get without having a man. So now, when you don't actually need a man for his finances, though you seek it, because now all you can get is housing and food. You still need clothes. You still want the finer things. So yeah, now you're going to be attracted to what's within a man's billfold. But now what do you have for that? Because now you don't have to work. You technically don't have to do anything. All you have to resort to is your box. And that's what's devaluing our sisters. Doesn't add value to you. Again, like I said earlier, it's like a car. You can go buy a used car, but buying a used caddy ain't like buying an unused caddy. You go buy a used caddy, that's like about $3,000. You go buy an unused caddy, that's like about $40,000. So now look at the range of something that's used and unused. This is just speaking toward physical aspects. You know, go ahead, huh?
It's a lot. I don't want to bring it out. It's so heavy because just like that caddy, like he bringing out, staying on that same analogy, you could buy a used caddy. It's gonna have all type of problems. The suspension gonna be bad. The leather gonna be busted up.
Good night, huh?
You know what I'm saying? The AC might not even work. The radiator coil messed up. The fuel line busted because that brother didn't take the proper maintenance. But if you buy that new caddy, and you keep the oil changes right on time, if I'm oiling the leather, doing everything, then you're gonna have something valuable. That's the same type of energy we have to put into our women.
Good night.
Just like you got to put into your child. You can't just let the child raise himself.
Right.
We got to put that same energy in our child. We got to put that same energy in our women. We got to show them. We have to guide them. Like I don't want to bring it up. Go ahead, sir.
We looking to make our women one owner.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That thing got to have one owner. Right. And it ain't getting. It's no more resale. There's no more resale. That's what we trying to fix. Yeah.
Right.
We want one owner. You know what I'm saying? And hold that. Mm-hmm. But give me Isaiah 4:1. Hold that and give me Isaiah 4:1. So we gonna capitalize on this point. Then we gonna push on. I need Isaiah 4:1, man. But we need this thing to have one owner. And now if it don't have one owner, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. There's a protocol to that here in this school. You got that for me, Al? Read that.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 4, verse 1. And in that day, 7 women.
One brother is going to get how many?
7 women.
7 women. Gonna do what?
Shall take hold of one man.
Sometimes you got brothers that go and get 7 used cars.
Right.
And now read on, huh?
Come. Saying, we will eat our own bread.
Sometimes that mug got decent AC. Go ahead.
And wear our own apparel.
It's got good upholstery on the inside. Go ahead, huh?
Only let us be called by thy name.
And you know what that brother gonna do? He gonna put some swingers on it. He gonna make it his own. And why is he gonna make it his own? Hey, stop lying.
To take away our reproach.
To take away the lemon status of the car.
Right.
He's gonna take the woman and take away the reproach.
The salvage title.
The salvage title. It's been weathered the storm. It's been flooded out. And this brother said, you know what? I'll fix it. Right. It's okay.
Right.
I was looking at taking 100,000 and buying a Bentley, but you know what? I can just spend a small percentage of this. And you know what? I can take away the reproach of this lemon, once salvage title, and make it my own. And now it will be what these Houston brothers call slabbed out. Slow, loud, and banging. And you know what that brother will do? It's like the earlier scripture said, he'll be a hiding place for you. And it has nothing to do with your box. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It's got everything to do with you being able to do things with your hand.
Yeah,
Let's
right.
go back.
I was just about to say, I got the second part of that Proverbs.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, huh?
For her price is far above rubies.
You got brothers that will not sell the swingers. They ain't gonna sell the slab. It's got personal value that goes far above what money can provide to that brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how a brother will feel regarding a virtuous woman. Should she want to be virtuous,
Right.
she can add value. Like, my wife cooks for me every day. I wouldn't trade that for the world. Why? Because there were times in my life that I didn't get home cooked meals.
Right.
There was times in my life where I didn't have clean clothes. But now I have a woman who's willing to do this for me. Not because we have just specific gender roles, even though there is certain things that regarded in gender roles. We can get to that on another topic. But didn't have nothing to do with what I could provide to her monetarily. And now I don't do the things that I do for her because of the box. I do it because I'm her husband. And she does the things that she needs to do for me to be able to come here to this school to teach, go to camp, even work my slave. Because she's intending to be virtuous. She wants to show me what her hands can do, which Most High in Christ. Because that's the value of a woman.
Right. And right.
What can she do outside the bedroom? Because anybody can lay down.
Right.
But after we done laying down, can you make a good sandwich? I mean, you got some people that get up and give you a turkey sandwich with no mayo. I mean,
right.
Good night. Give me some WAP and then give me some dab. You know? Go and give me some dry poultry.
And if I may, with the scriptures automatically out the gate tell us we can have as many wives as we want.
Right.
But what puts you above any other woman? And we know that sex is marriage.
Right.
So we can go out and have sex with as many women as we want. Now we, as righteous men, are going to take care of them women because we chose to do that. But in the selection process, what puts you above another woman?
Right.
If all you offering is box, that's out the gate. That's known from the contract.
Right.
So basically, like the Adawan was saying, how you gonna make that sandwich? It's gonna just be meat and cheese, because you can go to jail and get a sandwich. I can get locked up right now and get a goddamn sandwich. But is it gonna have all the fixings that I want? I want I need the little oil. I want the oil and seasonings on my shit. I don't go to Subway no more because I don't deal with them. But I want them to put it together with love with all the Subway selections though.
Lucky, if I may, man. The brother Dewoyale is saying he needs the vinaigrette.
Yeah, that's right.
So if you watch it and you know how to hook up the sandwich with the vinaigrette, hook him up. That's what he's looking for.
I need the vinaigrette. I don't need a little one slice of meat either. I need good. I need it put together right.
Good night,
I'm
bro.
shot.
Hey, man, give me that next scripture.
Hey, how kind? This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 11. The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her.
See, the thing is, man, a sister who's good with her hands and is willing to work and willing to make a home happy, the heart of your husband will, his mind, the things that he thinks about regarding you is going to be safe. He's not thinking that, she ain't cooking, she ain't cleaning, she must be just out home. This ain't
Right.
the things that a virtuous woman is spending her time at home, cooking, cleaning. I mean, hell, she might work from home, or she might just be at work, getting that tithe money together. And ain't nothing wrong with that. But this brother, he don't have to worry about that. Read on.
Don't come. So that he shall have no need of spoil.
So he has no need of spoil. He don't have to go do nothing wicked, illicit, illegal, none of that. He ain't gotta go try to rob, steal. He gotta do nothing. Because he hungry. He hungry. His wife know he hungry. She cooking at the crib. If he can't work, she'll go work. Some brothers got 1, 2, 3, or 4 felonies. Can't find a job that's befitting of a man. And you know what? The most he can do is sit at the crib and take care of kids. But so that way he ain't got to go do what he normally does. I go knock folks over.
Right.
He can sit at the crib, take care of his kids, teach his kids that that's not the way you want to roll.
Right.
And then mom can come home and show him what the check look like. And ain't no strife in between there. Because you got some sisters and brothers, man. You got some sisters that, I watched one video the other day, man. Sister had the nerve to say, if a man make as much money as she,
Right.
he can't tell her what to do. I said, God damn. I said, God damn, well, how much do you make? I'm just trying to figure out what is she making. I mean, I used to think back in the day, yeah, you make about $50,000 a year, because most of us are used to living below the poverty line, which is $19,000. Yeah, you're doing pretty good. And you can't tell her what to do?
Good night.
What the hell can he tell you? He can't tell you hello. He got to be making more than $50,000 to say hi. I mean, damn. Go ahead, what you got?
If I may, sir, the point you bringing out is so heavy because this place, America, this wicked kingdom, Babylon, it basically tell you that you could buy anything. Everything is for sale.
Right.
They'll kill your family members and hit you with a check to just go ahead and shut you up.
Right.
So that wicked woman of the world saying if a man don't make as much money as me, he can't do nothing for me. She don't understand the true value of a righteous brother of the Lord.
Right.
Because a righteous brother of the Lord is like the MasterCard commercial.
That's right.
It's priceless.
Right.
You can't put a value on a brother that the Lord is with.
Right.
Because now the Lord is protecting your household.
That's right.
Because the moment you lose that brother, because you think he don't make as much money as you, the Lord will send anything at you. You think you got enough money to buy a security team, the Lord will go ahead and wipe them out. The Lord will put some private military corporations on them. The Lord will put the coronavirus on. How they gonna fight the coronavirus?
Right.
How they gonna fight COVID?
Mm-hmm.
How they gonna stop that?
Okay. I seem to think the mask work.
Right, they got the mask on, and they go ahead and the Lord go ahead wait till they take a sip or something. You gonna take a sip with COVID? you can't wear the mask forever.
They got Hennessy number 3.
Right.
They got number 19 for that.
Right, exactly. You drinking the Hennessy number 3, and then you got COVID-19 on the brim.
Oh man, hey, look, man. Go ahead and let's go on with the
Count guns, sir.
Get verse 12. Man.
Verse 12. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life.
She'll do herself good.
She will do him good.
She only gonna worry about getting pleasure.
She will do him good
She'll do him good and what?
and not evil
And sometimes evil.
all the days of her life.
All the days of her life. So she ain't gonna be sitting up there arguing about, well, I want to go with my friends, and if you don't let me go with my friends, you know what? I ain't gonna cook dinner. If you don't let me go out, I want to wear these tights today. What? That's evil against your husband. You want to walk outside in yoga pants. That's
Right.
evil. You want to have sex with a man, bear him children, in the moment that he decides he wants another woman, you want to take his kids away from him. That's evil. And the scriptures say a virtuous woman will do him good and not evil. Not some of her life, but what?
All the days of her life.
All the days of her life. Read on now.
Come on. Verse 13. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands.
And she does what with her hands?
Worketh willingly with her hands.
She sit on her hands.
Worketh willingly with her hands.
She be on Facebook all day.
Worketh willingly with her hands.
See, this is the problem. sisters nowadays don't want to work. And then the ones that do work, they'll do evil to a man instead of good. They don't seek to actually be of a help to their husband. They want to tear them down and say, brothers ain't this and brothers ain't that. And they always, you know, if you just needed a place to stay, you know, you could go stay with your mom. I saw one sister post some stuff, man, it broke my heart. She said it was sideline a joke, but they was talking about her man, and the end of it was like, yeah, the bum that sleep on my bed. I was like, what the hell? You give your box to the man, but you this how you regard him? This is crazy.
Hey, Salaki, my bad,
Yeah.
sir. What he's bringing out is so heavy. So heavy. She gonna call that man a bum in her bed. Then what that make you for inviting?
Man,
If you sleeping with bums, what are you?
man.
If you out there under the bridge and here in Israelite School University Practice now, I already brought it out earlier. The first shall be last and the last shall be first. We work for them brothers under the bridge.
Right.
We want them brothers under the bridge to recognize why they are under the bridge.
Right.
Because they are here not keeping the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments, and the oppressors got their foot on their neck.
Right.
If you sleeping under there, what that make you? You just the same as them. And if that man in the bed with you is a bum, then what that make you? It don't matter how much you make. It don't matter what you think you offering. It don't matter how much you think your box is valued. You got a bum box now.
Man.
You got a bum in that box, you got a bum box.
Man.
Not a boom box, but a bum box. That probably done been boomed already.
The speaker bomb. The speaker blow.
Right. You got the love below and the speaker box. the double disc.
Good night. Good night, man. All right, let me get the last scripture out of Proverbs. Let me get that. Let me get verse 14, then we gonna push on, man.
Verse 14. She is like the merchant's ships. She bringeth her food from afar.
And like I say, man, you know, the sister don't mind going to go get the food. You know what I'm saying? You got sisters like this is what begins to count the value of a woman. This is a woman that a man is willing to die for. A sister.
Right.
If you want protection and you want to be protected, doing these things is, I mean, just even if you don't, you know, and I want to stress this because I don't want brothers in the world to not protect those sorry women that they might be laying up with. Right? I don't want you not to, because you should. You lay with them. You made that bed, so now you have to lay in it. You know, figuratively speaking, because you already laid it. But if you want to get you a man that will regard you as something that wants to be protected, you have to bring up, like, okay, put your shirt down, son. Stop doing that. You know, when you go to the store, right? And this is the way I'm a pull this out, right? You have things that are not behind the guarded glass. Right. When you walk into Walmart or, you know, the dollar store, Dollar General, you know. And those things that are usually not protected or that doesn't have those little tabs on it that has to get taken off when you take it to the register are things that they just don't really care that much about. So right. You want to be that thing behind that glass with the key, the one that you got to go get the manager to come get you, and then when he come get it for you, he damn near walk you to the register because he don't know if you finna try to make a run with it or not. Right. You want to be that, or you want to have yourself be considered in that fashion. Yeah. With these things, with these influencers that we have in the midst of our people, they teach our daughters to behave in ways that, okay, so me growing up, right? You always had that sister that, you know, everybody could go snatch a piece of. And nobody wanted to regard that sister as their woman. So that sister inevitably became somebody who did not receive protection, but it's because she did not regard herself in a high enough standard. So what I'm requesting of the sisters that's listening to this class or that will listen to this class, so when you do, begin to hone in on your craft of being a woman. A woman, yes, in nature is beautiful to the eyes, but she got to be like a transformer. There's more than meets the eye. Right. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It has to be more than just that. You cannot be. You have to be that book without the writing on the back of it. You got to be that one that the mother got to read. Salakia, that has to read in order to understand you. You got to be that one that a brother has to be willing to take time to get to understand you. When he gets to understand you, get to know you and the things that you're worth. That's going to be that. It's like me with these scriptures. I will defend this faith from this day unto my death. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the way I regard these scriptures, because of what they have been to me. So now a woman she should regard herself in that same light. Right. Because how the scriptures say is that, man, each husband should be as to his wife as Christ was to the school.
Good night.
Now, don't get me wrong, Christ died for the school. But in the school, he had 12 brothers with him. He had more than that, but he had the truth. Right. So he died for these scriptures, man. Right. So now a woman should be modeled behind that same aspect. Go ahead.
If I may, what the Ottawa is bringing out is so heavy. I don't think most people really fully understand what he's saying. It's basically saying, like, you have to love the Lord more than you love your husband. And in doing that, the Lord is telling you to obey your husband. Right. The Lord is going to tell you to do whatever your husband says. Right. Because your husband is your protection. That's right. Even if you assist in the truth and your husband is in the world, right, the Lord still tells you to listen to that man.
They do.
How much obedience is that?
Man. And the thing is, man, but I can say, man, what preaching officer the way y'all is saying, bro, it doesn't matter. You gotta use the bathroom? You okay? You gotta use the potty? Go to the potty. Go. Could you hit the light for him, man? So what he's saying, man, and I do apologize for right in on your point, but you know what I'm saying, what he's saying is, man, you know, we off the track. We had to go to the bathroom.
Hey, so,
like,
yeah, I just
go ahead, man.
What I'm saying, Salaki, to I don't want, is basically the Lord is saying, do what your husband says to do.
Right, there we go. Yeah, man.
Do what that man says to do, whether he's in the truth or out the truth. And if he's in the truth, you better not lose him.
Yeah.
You better not lose him. If he's a man of the Lord, don't play with it. Because you'll find yourself out here like these other sisters with no protection. A sister in Houston, like if I may, sir. There was a sister in Houston who was just driving down the streets. And an oppressor cut her off. And she honked and she was like trying to let that oppressor know that he did wrong and whatnot. That oppressor followed her for miles and eventually broke her window and beat her in the streets.
Damn.
Beat her in the streets. Broke her window, pulled her out the car, and beat her in the streets for something he did wrong. Where's your protection right there? Black woman, Hispanic woman, Native American woman? Go ahead.
Yeah. And I didn't hear about the story, but you know, that's a testament to what's becoming of our nation of people, that our sisters can be followed after, and I mean, hell, that's just in any occasion that if an oppressor does wrong, what they seek to do right, or what they see as right, is to treat you as the one to blame.
Right.
And that sister not having a man now for whatever reason it's still, she never deserved, she didn't deserve that from that oppressor. But the thing is, had she had a hedge of protection around her, then that would not have befallen her.
Right.
She would, if she would have, and that's for any sister. If this tape, reaches the masses, says, whatever city or whatever zone you're in, if you go to the isupk.com, there is a number that you can call for any captain that's in your zone that is the wisest nigga in that zone,
Right.
outside of the general or the man that may be above him. When he answers that phone, you can begin to establish a hedge of protection around you.
Right.
Because even the sisters within this school that are without husbands are not without fathers or
right.
brothers.
Right.
And we're not going to protect you for your body's sake or for your box. We're going to protect you because we love you, just like we love all our sisters. And what that sister lacked was protection
Right.
of a man for
Right.
this to happen. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, huh?
And just like I don't want to brought up, she lacked that protection. She lacked that natural rank and order structure. She basically fell victim to the oppressor in the lurking places.
Right.
Because don't get it twisted. That oppressor that man that was driving, that oppressor that was driving and punched her window, followed her for a mile, punched her window, pulled her out, he is the same as the lawman.
Right.
They no different. Don't get it twisted. Don't think the oppressor that works for the police department is different than that oppressor that's following behind you in the damn Ford Sierra or whatever it is. They the same person. They the same one. And she didn't have that protection. This whole system, America, Babylon, is designed to keep you out here unprotected by the Lord, because you sin against your Lord, because you don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments of your Lord.
On that note, find me Ron. Salakia. You got a pocket on your phone?
Yeah, of course.
Go to the book of Susanna. Because on that note, we're going to go into another sister.
All right.
See, I keep bringing out sisters. I want these sisters to understand. Your box ain't everything, man.
Right.
Your box ain't going to save you. Yeah, your box can get you $40 to pay a phone bill.
Right.
Maybe even get you enough to pay a light bill. Sometimes it can get you enough to pay a car note. Sometimes it can put you
Good night.
in a condo. It can. But that is not what creates the value
Right.
of a woman. Right?
Good night.
You have to understand that your body is worth more than any dollar amount that anyone can give you.
Damn right.
And if you don't see it to be that way, though this society tells you otherwise. I know they have these sisters that's making $1 million or whatever with their OnlyFans accounts.
Good night.
Ain't no lie. Some of them are millionaires off showing their box. But you know what they are on the inside? They're dead on the inside. The scriptures say that a woman that liveth deliciously while she lives is dead. Those sisters are dead because of that. And there's men, good men, that when they find out about that, will never deal with that woman in the capacity that they would have a righteous sister. And we're going to bring out to you a righteous sister. You know the scriptures, huh? Susanna 8.
This is the book of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 8. And the two elders saw her going in every day and walking, so that their lust was inflamed towards her.
At this time, there was a sister named Susanna, and she was bad. She was bad. Bad, huh? And these two elders would watch her come to and fro from her house to the field, wherever she was going, go
Right.
get water, they would watch her. And their lust became inflamed unto her, just like a lot of these brothers,
Right.
as they watching these sisters on Facebook and Instagram. You see these sisters,
Right.
they create stumbling blocks for these brothers,
Damn right.
for them to feel that way, and they'll say, oh, well, you know, just because I'm dressed like a hoe don't mean to treat me like one. Well, goddamn, I'm gonna treat a police officer with a badge like a police officer. What the hell you want me to treat you like? What you mean? You dressed for the occasion.
Right.
You're dressed.
Right.
This is what you look like.
And in my face, sir, I call it "Who's that lady?"
Good.
You know, they're looking like, "Who's that lady?" Right there? They inflamed over there. They just looking from afar.
Go ahead,
If I may,
What you got,
know what I'm saying? When they dress like that, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, you know, they post pictures like on social media, and then when the brother comments, then that's when they want to post, oh, these thirsty niggas around here don't do this and do that. Like, you are a billboard for sexual predators. You're
Right.
a billboard for
Damn right.
anybody that's harmonious at the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's the type of reaction that you're going to
That's
get.
what
That's
you
all I'm
gonna
say.
Damn right. What he's saying is the truth.
Right.
Cause what they call it is thirst trapping.
Right.
Right.
How you gonna sit the water
Harsh.
out, and you gonna think a mother ain't coming to get a drink?
Right.
What the hell? My wife say this statement all the time that her grandmother told her as a child. Most High Christ her grandmother because she told her, "Do not sit meat out for the dogs, lest they will come and eat."
Damn right. Good night.
Why would you, what was your purpose of putting the picture there if not for the attention? Because if you got a man, he should be the only one to know. your
Come for
secret.
that meat.
Yeah.
Right.
Right on time.
Right. I don't want ain't no. And Salaki, if I may, sir, there's no. If you any wife of mine, ain't nobody else gonna ever see the meat. I'm not gonna put the meat on the counter. Like it ain't no little Yogi the Bear type situations. Ain't no picnic baskets. You're not gonna see it out the window. It's not gonna cool down. You're gonna be covered in, like I don't want to say, you're gonna be put up.
Put up.
You're gonna be put up.
So go ahead and
Come on, kind right.
Most I had Christ for the way y'all are stepping in, man. Y'all don't know, brother been trying to get in on the class with me, man. For a minute, man. This my dog, man. Go ahead,
Come on, kind. Verse 9. And they perverted their own mind
Right.
and turned away their eyes, that they might not look unto heaven nor remember just judgments.
Damn. So the thing is that they turn their eyes to have those devious thoughts and put away. They thinking about what they can have with her, what they can do with her, and put away the judgment of what comes with taking another brother. Not thinking about the kingdom. All they thinking about is that sister and her box. And now this is Israel. So she's not dressing provocatively. She's somebody's wife.
Right.
This is how they feeling about her. But go ahead, read on.
Come on. Verse 10. And albeit they both were wounded with her love.
They both thought about what her box would be like. They was wounded. It hurt them. Man, she don't need to be with him. She could be with me.
Right.
Man, you know what? She could be with we, dog. She could just have us both. Read on, huh?
Come. Yet durst not one shew another his grief.
And they was so torn with this. They know they both having the same thought, and they can't be like, man, I'm wicked as hell for this.
Damn.
They can't even look at each other because both of them know what they think, and they both so ashamed of the thoughts to say it out to one another. But it's like, damn, you know, this is what's on their mind. Read on, huh?
Verse 11. For they were ashamed to declare their lust.
They ain't want to say, damn, that sister got a fatty, bro. Read on.
That they desired to have to do with her.
he wasn't gonna tell him, man, this is what I would do, or this is what I would. Hey, bro, what you gonna? Nah, the thoughts so filthy, and them knowing that they wrong. They didn't even, and they both having it. They both doing this, but they ain't even telling one another. Hey, nah, man, look what look what I do to that, man. Nah, you tripping, fam? I do this, boy. No, they know they so vile and so disgusting.
Right.
This is the thing, brothers outside the school. That's how disgusting you are.
Right.
When you look at these pictures of these sisters, man. It's how disgusting you are when you go pay for that OnlyFans account.
Damn right.
That you got the account, but then you get on Facebook and be like, hey, all the sisters with an OnlyFans account is a whore. Yeah, they whores, and you a whoremonger.
Damn right.
So you're two in the same.
It's a lot if I may say.
Nah.
What you're saying is so heavy, and like Commander Junior Hunter brought out, confession is good for the soul. I'm gonna tell you, in the world, as I'm from Chicago, and it's niggas all day, every day that's just trying to hustle, just to stunt with sisters.
Right.
It's like I could be out there all day, every day, just to pull a sister to show other niggas on the block that I got her, and even a step further, and I got her and I gave her to all my brothers.
Damn.
To try to show some fake semblance of brotherhood, because you know we
some life.
Hey, go ahead.
You will get a sister, destroy her with a group of brothers,
Right.
to show brotherhood, but you forgot to be a brother to your sister.
Damn right. Hey, I don't. Damn.
That's what goes on in Chicago, y'all. I'm from here.
Right.
I'm just messing around, man. Give me verse 12, man.
Verse 12. Yet they watched diligently from day to day to see her.
They went on all her posts.
Thirsty.
They watch her story.
Reading.
They reading everything she put out. Every picture, they giving up the heart. Now they giving up the one emoji that they just got that hugged the little heart, the love. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, huh? You know, it's the new one. It's the new one, the little crazy looking one. It hugs the heart. They giving up that one every day. Go ahead,
Verse 13. And the one said to the other, let us now go home, for it is dinner time.
Man, I'm done with Facebook. It's late. I'm just bringing it into real time, man. I'm done with Facebook. It's late. I done seen, she done posted everything tonight. I done seen it all. It's late.
Right.
I'm done.
She done went live.
She done went live on her OnlyFans account. I paid, but I'm not gonna tell you I paid.
Right.
I'm not gonna do that. That's what the brother did, man. But sister but now this is for, that's for unrighteous sisters. But see, this sister, she's not even doing that. This sister ain't showing up all the good. She's not even doing that. That's how beautiful a sister can be in her righteousness.
Right.
Covered up. See, sisters have this stigma about being. I mean, I'm just giving you another one, man. My wife, she came home one day. She's talking to the sisters at her job. Well, no, it's a new lady who just moved next door to us, and she's asking my wife about tights, and you know she's got on a pair of tights or whatever. And my wife says, you know, I don't wear tights, you know, just out. Those are underpants. Like those aren't pants that you just wear, you know, out. And the lady says, you know, well, you know, you gotta look cute, you gotta look good. She said, well, you know, I got a husband, so he's who I look cute for. He's who I dress up for. You know, now if we go into the school, I'll put on a dress and I'll get myself together. But outside of that, you know, I'm going to work. So I want people to respect me for my work and not for what I look like. So what the sister said to her, well, you think like an old lady. She said, no, I think like a married woman.
You're right.
I think like a woman who
That's
wants.
the
I mean, most of that clothes Most High Christ. I love my real because she says little things like that, and she shows me, you know what I'm saying, that she wants to be happily married. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing that we're gonna get into with the sister Susanna. You know what I'm saying? Give me the we gonna read on.
Come on. Verse 14. So when they were gone out, they parted the one from the other, and turning back again, they came to the same place, and after that they had asked one another the cause. Hey, if I may. Hey, what's up? God, all right. Hey, what's so heavy about that is you know, it's like in the world. Hey, and not going off too far. In the world, you are of your father, the devil.
Right.
So, and devil means deceiver.
Right.
So they tried to deceive one another. They tried to deceive one another. They're like, hey, we gonna go to the crib and go and grab something to eat. We done been out here going ahead looking at Shorty too long. He's like, you right. They didn't laugh.
But remember, they didn't say it to each other.
They didn't.
Not that we've been watching Shorty too long.
Right.
We just been out too long.
We done been out too long. Right. They didn't even say it because it was in their lust of their heart. So they didn't say it like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go to the crib, grab something to eat. But they both pop right back up. Like, damn.
Same demo.
Are you here too? What you doing? Like, hey.
Export.
Come on.
After that, they had asked one another.
And turning back again, they came to the same place. And after that, they had asked one another the cause.
Read on. Read on.
They acknowledged their lust.
Man, bro, I didn't know you was looking at Shorty. I didn't know you was looking at her.
I didn't know you was for real about Shorty. Like, damn. Like, and that is lucky by me. That level of wickedness and that level of lust and deception that's Satan.
That's Satan.
Trying to get you to go ahead and defile yourself and rape that sister. They both of them about ready to rape that sister. They both ready to take that sister. Like, snatch her up.
Read on.
Come, sir.
If we get into it.
Then appointed they a time both together when they might find her alone.
Damn.
Damn.
He didn't know what he was saying, but now he know what he's saying because
we gonna catch him.
This is what happens. Now say in the world in today's day and age, you got a sister who all about the WAP.
Right.
She out naked. And we gonna get this sister by herself. Now you got some sisters. We'll read on, but we'll go into it further. But just read on now.
And it's lucky if I may, sir, before. Like you saying, in this day and age, with the OnlyFans account, you don't know. It's niggas out here hacking pages. They got your IP address. We out here we know where you out here going live at. They so lusty and wicked that they gonna find you and pop up, and you don't got no protection because you don't have a righteous man of the Lord. Because you said you over there with that OnlyFans page making $1 million, and you don't got a nigga that's making $1 million, so you gonna go ahead and go with that move. When if you had a righteous man of the Lord, he gonna tell you to get off that shit. Salaki. He gonna tell you get off that page. Go on, get off of that page and do what I tell you to do.
Salaki. If I may, if you had a righteous man of the Lord in your life, you would have never conspired to have that page.
Damn
I ain't gonna lie. I had a sister on my page not too long ago. I had to get rid of her because the thing was, and it wasn't like, so she used to post funny stuff, whatever. I already don't be on Facebook that much, but when I saw a sister post that I think I'm finna get on the OnlyFans team, she was conspiring to do evil.
Yeah, right.
And she's usually one of those ones that post those things about brothers not being shit. Brothers ain't nothing. But you one of these sisters who conspiring to have an OnlyFans account. Now, You got one. You supposed to, I said, oh hell no, I gotta get this off my sheet. I gotta get this off my page. This is not for me. You know what I'm saying? And it just so happened, you know what I'm saying, that if sisters would actually adhere, if sisters would actually open up your mind to these priests and prophets that's out here on the airwaves, you wouldn't conspire to do that thing, because what we're telling you is just this. But now what they see, because they can make that million on OnlyFans, so now obviously your box has to be worth $1 million. It has to be
$1 million.
It made $1 million, so it has to be worth $1 million. But the scriptures say that a virtuous woman, her price will be far above rubies.
And you don't even know how much a ruby is worth.
How many people you see walking around wearing rubies?
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? This is that. We're gonna go further to
I'm coming. Verse 15. And it fell out as they watched a fit time, she went in as before with 2 maids only. And she was desirous to wash herself in the garden, for it was hot.
So she wanted to take a bath because it's hot outside. She probably started stinking a little bit. She said, ooh, shit, I smell bad. Let me go ahead and clean myself up. She grabbed the maidens. Let's go ahead. Let's go set a bath for them. Read on.
I'm coming. Verse 16. And there was nobody there save the 2 elders that had hid themselves and watched her.
And they was just 2 old perverts.
Damn.
Watching this sister.
In the cut.
Caring about her box. Looking at her body. Read on.
Hey, if I may say.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why, but this just put me. This just. these old heads that be out here trying to get the damn. This old heads getting the weaves out here. Now I don't even know how it came across my timeline one time. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got. You know, I ain't gonna get too far into it, but you know, one time I was talking to my brother, and you know, he was in the world at the time, and he was balding, and I was like, he was trying to talk to me about that. Niggas is getting the weave. He wasn't trying to get the weaves or nothing like that. But I was like, I just had to show it to him out the gate. Like, hey, it's niggas out here doing this. So if you ever come across this, don't even think twice about it. They out here getting, they getting the high tops. They getting the they getting the taper. They getting the locks. All that. You know what I'm saying? They gluing it. They out here getting all that. They out here the same as these sisters, or the same as these 2 elders. These elders right here, these horny elders, these lusty elders, that's out here. I'm finna go ahead and get a high top and hit the club, and it's only gonna last 2 days, but I'm gonna fool a few sisters. That's the same spirit that these sisters, these brothers that's transgender, going out here fooling other brothers to sleep with them for the bread. That's the same spirit. You got the exact same spirit as them transgenders. You ain't no better than a damn tranny if you out here trying to go ahead and get a high top weave to fool some sisters at the club one day. I just want to let it be known, like, you know what I mean? They out here putting 2 hours. I don't even know how much it costs. They calling it the unit out there. I know they calling it the unit. They out here grabbing the unit. You grab the unit and fool some sisters. Good night. Oh, hey, Slocky, sir. I'm
we can go ahead and
get back to it.
Go ahead, you my boy.
Verse 17. Then she said to her maids, bring me oil and washing balls, and shut the garden doors, that I may wash me.
So she asked her maidens just to go grab her some soap, some conditioner, you know, some stuff to make her feel good and smell good while she's in the tub. You know what I'm saying? So they left. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 18. And they did as she bade them, and shut the garden doors, and went out themselves at privy, doors to fetch the things that she had commanded them. but they saw not the elders because they were hid.
So when they left, they didn't know that the two elders was in there. So the two elders is in there, and it's just them and Susanna. Read on.
Come on. Verse 19. Now when the maids were gone forth, the two elders rose up and ran unto her, saying,
Damn. So now when the maidens is gone, the two elders run up and say, hey man, it's just me and my mans, you know what I'm saying? Go on man, just go live one time, man. It's me and my boy. Ain't nobody gonna know. Ain't nobody here. Who gon' Nah, I don't do that. Ain't nobody here, girl. It's just us. Hey man, we know you a freak, man. Hey, man, it's cool. It's just us. Read on.
Come. Verse 20. Behold, the garden doors are shut, that no man can see us.
Nobody can know. We ain't got the phone. We don't put the phone up. Nobody gonna know. The door's closed. Read.
And we are in love with thee.
And man, girl, we mess with you like that, girl. Man, come on, man. You know, you little sis, man. What's up? You know what's good?
Damn.
You know, kinfolk them. Yeah, we love you. That's what they saying. This how brothers in the world trick our sisters today.
Right.
You got sisters that'll do something as disgusting as what they do on those sites. Y'all know those sites for pornography, or even the ones that don't do the pornography, and that'll have, because there's a term that we call it. I don't want to use it, but it's called a train. It'll let that happen on them because they have that thought that these brothers actually mess with them. Like sometimes sisters get tricked into being part gang members with the same thing that they love. Putting a family value on the box.
Right.
I'm gonna get in my box and they'll take care of me and we'll be family. And no, that's not what's gonna happen. They're gonna turn on you. They're gonna hate you for it.
Damn right.
Like this thing. Brothers sleep with whores, but they don't marry whores.
Yeah.
Brothers love to go give money to whores, but they don't give their all to whores.
Right.
They hate whores. And as disgusting as that woman will be for you in that night, you won't take her in that filth because you know just how filthy you are as a man.
Right.
This is why we have to start taking. We have to, and this is, and it's gonna sound this way. We have to take the imaginary value off the box and place that value, real value, within the character and the hands of the woman. We got to change this mindset of our community.
I don't want to say it is so heavy because these brothers right here, they said we are in love with thee. That's the same thing. That's the game. That's the game that our sisters are falling for in the club when they're wearing that tight dress with everything showing. They thinking whoever come and holler at them on the dance floor is loving them. When really these elders are lusted, and we know now what the Lord has shown us. These the same old elders that's got the high top fade. They got mohawks out here. I done seen a goddamn nigga get a mohawk with the unit. They out here with the mohawk unit coming at you sisters out there in the club, and they about 60 years old, so they gonna have some things if they done played it right. They got a little, they got some whips, they got the whip on the swingers. And you out there like, oh damn, he loved me and he got this. You basically are being a whore. You being a whore and falling for the trap.
Right.
But this is a righteous sister right here. She thought she was alone. She thought there wasn't nobody. What she told him, like, oh, hey, look, I'm in the garden, how I do it. You know what I'm saying? I got a husband, hook me up with what I need, go and do it with the ma'am, and come back and hold me down. But she ain't know it's going to be two old heads in the cut. Come on.
Read on. It get deeper. It get deeper.
Come.
Finish this for the class.
Verse 20.
You might as well.
Behold, the garden doors are shut, that no man can see us, and we are in love with thee.
Just, man, the doors are closed, man. Man, you know we with you like that, girl. You know what's good. Don't touch it, man. One time. Just me and my mans, man. One time. Me and my boy. Read on.
Therefore, consent unto us and lie with us.
Man, let me go first and then he can go after, man. It's all good. We ain't got the same time. Just lay with it. Go a little bit. Man, go ahead and kiss it. That's it. Do it. That's all they say. And doors closed. Nobody there. Read on.
Verse 21. If thou wilt not, we will bear witness against thee.
And she got a whole husband.
Right.
So they saying if you don't do it, I'ma just say you did it. We gon' say we just gonna she ain't nothing but a hoe anyway.
Right.
She ain't give, you know how they used to have them one girl, man, she a hoe. That girl ain't never laid with nobody, ain't never talked to nobody, ain't never done nothing with nobody. But because she's so stuck up, as they would call her, we just gonna say you a hoe. That's what they said. We just gonna call you a hoe. That's
Right.
it.
And if I may,
Go ahead.
Salaki if I may, this sister, this is a perfect example for righteous sisters that's put into a situation. Because the Lord will test you anytime. Like Job was a perfect man, and the Lord gave Satan permission, so you can get tested anytime. This sister was a righteous sister that was put in a position. So this is sisters in the truth. This is the perfect story to listen to in the spirit to be in for your husband.
Let's bring out the spirit.
Yeah, that's we were sliding on there. I just wanted to hit a little preview.
No previews. We got the movies. No previews. We got it. Go ahead and get it to them.
Khan. Verse 21. If thou wilt not, we will bear witness against thee that a young man was with thee.
We gonna tell them that a young buck came and wore it out.
Good night.
We gonna say that he was in here knocking boots. That's what we gonna say if you don't give us a piece. Read on.
Khan. And therefore thou didst send away thy maids from thee.
And that's the only reason why you sent your maids out, so that way you could be alone, so you can go ahead and tear it up. If you don't give us none, we gonna say this happened. We gonna say we saw it though.
Right.
Read on.
Verse 22. Then Susanna sighed and said, I am straitened on every side.
Bam. So either way I turn,
Right.
I'm just as good as dead.
Right.
It's the same. Both sides of the coin is the same. Read.
Damned if I do, damned if I don't.
Here it come. Read it.
Khan. For if I do this thing, it is death unto me.
If I lay with you, everybody knows the death, the sentence of adultery. That's death for the man and the woman. If they be found, everybody in the occasion is dying.
Right.
And if they can't find one party, the party that is found, you dead. You're gonna get stoned publicly.
Right.
Read on.
Khan. And if I do it not, I cannot escape your hands.
And if I don't do it, you gonna lie on me, and they not gonna be able to find the brother. They gonna find me, and because it's two, like the scriptures say, out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, truth is established.
Yeah, I'm right.
So they know the law. They know. And they willing to conspire against this sister over a box. But read on.
Khan. Verse 23. It is better for me to fall into your hands and not do it than to sin in the sight of the Lord.
It's better for me to just die on your life than to actually sin in the sight of the Lord.
Right.
There's sisters out there that they box is worth so little to them that they will go and sleep with whoever to pay a bill. This sister wouldn't sleep with 2 men outside her husband to save her life. Now, these old cats probably wouldn't last nothing but 2 minutes apiece. She could have got it done quick. But she said, I'd rather die.
Right.
I would rather die than to sin.
Yeah, right.
It's the mindset. Get the Lord a hand. Lord a hand. Because these are the type of sisters that's being raised in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, man. This is the type of spirit that's being put out from these sisters here within this school, man. That they would rather die than to give their box even the value of their life. To say a virtuous woman is far above the price of rubies, this sister wouldn't even save her life to give up her own box. And this is the mindset that our sisters have to start having. We're gonna drop that, we're gonna go further. Give me verse 46.
Verse 46. Who cried with a loud voice, I am clear from the blood of this woman. Verse 47. Then all the people turned them toward him and said, what mean these words that thou hast spoken? Verse 48. So he standing in the midst of them said, are ye such fools, ye sons of Israel, that without examination or knowledge of the truth, ye have condemned a daughter of Israel?
At this time. So what happened after the men conspired to sleep with her? She screamed out loud, or the men started to yell. They brought everybody together. And Daniel is the prophet at that time. And, Daniel came to judge the matter. Now, in the judging of the matter, the people are saying, well, these men, they elders. They're not going to lie against this woman. You know what I'm saying? She ought to be stoned. Well, Daniel at this point is saying, he cried with a loud voice. He's clear of the blood of this woman that, he's not going to lay hand on this woman because he's the judge at the time. He's the prophet that's over the nation at that time. He's saying, I'm not going to touch hand on this woman because you all didn't want to hear the matter. Now see, this is something that brothers and sisters have to start taking a little bit more serious. It's the things that you say regarding people. You need to know people for one, and then we have to change the mindset of our nation. Because even at this time, a woman is just not so easily depicted as a whore. Just like these sisters like to say, like I said earlier, they like to dress provocatively, but they don't want to be counted as a whore. So this is a woman that's not dressed provocatively. They came unto her in her nakedness. They did something perverted to see her. She didn't grant them the perversion. You know what I'm saying? So Daniel is saying that y'all judging this matter, and y'all saying that a daughter of Israel is just like that. There was a time when you couldn't just say, this woman is sleeping with anybody or everybody. You couldn't say it because that just was not the nature of our women. Our women regarded their bodies and their righteousness to a high degree. They didn't count it as such a small thing like we do in today's time.
And Daniel being a prophet of the Lord, and just the Lord being with him, he understood something basic, that was not to condemn this woman. Why would we go off the strength of what these old heads are saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just like I always like to bring it back practical because I'm in the Isupk. Right. Why am I gonna go off? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the Lord is with Daniel because you could see that he had the discernment to know how to judge it righteously.
Right.
We in this earth right now, we got to sit like, just like we were saying before, if you don't listen to your husband, if you saying that you got a husband and he don't make as much as you, and you're not gonna listen to him, you thinking as a woman in the world, but you aren't thinking like, what does it mean to have a righteous brother of the Lord?
Right.
To have this righteous brother of the Lord, he has abilities that you don't have.
Right.
This is a whole group of people. It's a whole group of people hearing like, damn, like these are two elders too. These ain't just two young bucks. These two elders.
Hey, it's gonna get to that.
Come.
It's gonna get to you own it, but we finna get to go ahead.
It's a lot.
He was at verse 48.
Verse 48. So he's standing.
That 49.
Verse 49. Return again to the place of judgment, for they have borne false witness against her. Dang.
There you already knowing.
Right.
That they lying.
Good night.
They lying.
Right. They
lying. That's it's the thing.
Real.
When a prophet begins to speak, that's it and that's all.
Right. It's done.
And he know they lying. But he gonna get into the matter.
That's a lot if I may. So
Wait.
just to touch quickly on the point that the other one was bringing out, when a prophet is speaking, it's not even his own words.
Right.
That's the Lord speaking in this multitude.
Right.
That's the Lord speaking, because the prophets speak as the oracles of God.
That's right. Most High Christ. Read that up.
Come. Verse 49. Return again to the place of judgment, for they have borne false witness against her.
In the place of judgment. That's like when you go to the court and they finna give the sentence. They finna go give the sentence. We gotta go into the courtroom, to the place of judgment. They have bore false witness against, and he about to prove this. Read that up.
Verse 50. Wherefore all the people turned again in haste, and the elders said unto him, Come, sit down among us, and show it us, seeing God hath given thee the honor of an elder.
So since you guys have been given the mercy of the Most High to grow in age, come show us what happened.
Verse 51. Then said Daniel unto them, Put these two aside, one from another.
Sit one over there and sit one over there. You know how sometimes, see, if you ever been to jail before, sometimes they'll put you in the same cell with the person that you got arrested with for y'all to get y'all story together. Daniel say, sit him over there,
Right.
because he didn't want them to talk to each other. So now you can't corroborate a story. You can't pull it together like how cops do after they shoot an unarmed brother. They try to go ahead and tell the story. We got cameras for you now, but it doesn't change anything. But anyhow, that's another story for another time. These two brothers, sit them apart.
Right.
So that way Daniel can do what?
And I will examine them.
And he's going to examine them. He's going to go talk to them. He's going to go do the investigation. That's what a wise priest and prophet of the Most High does.
Yeah.
He hears the full conclusion of the matter. That's how he ends up judging the situation. Read on.
Verse 52. So when they were put asunder one from another, he called one of them and said unto him, O thou that art waxen old in wickedness.
Old wicked nigga. That's what he called him.
Right.
You old and wicked. You done waxed old in your wickedness. Read on.
If I may, sir.
Go ahead.
He done put the screws to him.
Yeah.
he done tightened them up. Like he wasn't playing with them.
All right. Go ahead.
Now thy sins which thou hast committed aforetime are come to light.
This thing that you've been doing, because to be a pervert just don't start one day.
Right.
You've been a pervert. All perverts have been perverts, and now it's coming to the light that you've been a pervert. Because you perverted against one woman who ain't gonna give you the time of day, and she would have rather died.
Right.
Read on.
Verse 53. For thou hast pronounced false judgment, and hast condemned the innocent, and hast let the guilty go free. Albeit the Lord saith, the innocent and righteous shall thou not slay.
y'all tried to get this young sister killed. And you tried to get yourself off and to get that other brother off. But this, I'm not gonna let this stand.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, give me verse 54.
That's a lot of my message. Just real quick.
Go ahead.
Like, this kingdom we live in now, the wicked get off.
Right.
We looking at righteous judgment in these scriptures. That's how we know that these scriptures are for us, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We're seeing our ancestors who are like us, who have the abilities like us to discern righteously, do the right thing, as Spike Lee would say.
And if I could,
If I could,
because what he's saying, man, is so heavy. Because there was an article that came out a little bit ago about these kids and these men and these women that's in the detention centers. It's across the border and all across the South and on to the western parts of the United States. That the correctional officers were not wrong for one, sexually abusing them or physically abusing them because they were illegal immigrants. That they were not under the jurisdiction of protection for the United States. But that's so heavy, which was because even in that same light, you had you had our sisters, you know what I'm saying, being raped maliciously by our oppressor during slavery, and they would not count that wickedness against those men, and then they would still charge us up for being slaves. Or how you have sisters that come out with the stories of them being prostitutes, and then you have officers that would lie with them and then would still take them to jail even after lying with them, you know, and let them know that, well, you know, I'm not gonna give you a charge tonight, but you still end up taking the sister to jail for prostitution, you know, if not that night or later on down the line, even though you're a wicked bastard yourself.
Right.
So
just to double down on that point, this sister was put in the jail. This was a righteous sister. This was a sister doing no wrong. She was doing her thing, her everyday thing. She had a handmaid. She told them what to do. She was in the garden that she be at, and she didn't know that it was two perverts lurking on her. But when these perverts popped out on her, they thought they caught her up because they was so lusty and so wicked that they was like, all right, we're going to tell her she don't do what we say right now and lie with us, that we're going to condemn her to death because of our rank, because of our renown, because of who we are. And it's the same thing going on today. But this sister was bold enough and righteous enough to know, because she was with a righteous man of the Lord, to know that she cannot go against the Lord. She knew that she couldn't fall victim to what this wicked plot.
What's the lock, y'all?
Go ahead.
Her husband isn't Daniel.
No. Of course, no. Her husband not Daniel, but the Lord was with her. Salaki, my man. Yeah. The Lord was with her. It doesn't say that her husband was a wicked man.
I don't say that.
So we know that she had enough tutelage and understanding to navigate through this.
Right.
If I may.
Come on. Verse 54.
Verse 54. Now then, if thou hast seen her, tell me, under what tree sawest thou them companioning together? Who answered, and under a mastric tree.
So now, Daniel wants to know, if you saw her sleeping with somebody, if you saw her giving up her box, where did you see her doing it at? He said a mastic tree. No sweat. Give me 55. We're just gonna read it on through because I'm gonna
Verse 55. And Daniel said, very well, thou hast lied against thine own head.
He like the brother off of Minister Society. You know you didn't effed up right. You know you didn't effed up right. You said the mastic tree. You know you didn't effed up right.
Oh, the mastic tree.
All right. Most High in Christ. Read on.
Verse 55. And Daniel said, very well, thou hast lied against thine own head. For even now the angel of God hath received the sentence of God to cut thee in two.
Right now, I could already tear you into two because you lying. This was the Lord telling me. The Lord telling me to kill you. It was the Lord telling me. But hold on. So I'm going to go ask your papa. Read on.
Verse 56. So he put him aside and commanded to bring the other.
Bring that other Negro here. Bring him here. So I can go ahead and hit this. Read on.
And said unto him, O thou seed of Canaan.
It's just Canaan. It's just in Greek, but it's Canaan. So it's just Canaan.
And not of Judah.
Told him you ain't even Israelite.
Right.
You acting like an African. You acting like a heathen. This is partly where we get that understanding of it, but we don't know as Negroes. But you know, the Lord has the habit of calling us by other nations by the way that we're acting, and they acting like Hamites.
Right.
Hamites wanted to take Abraham's wife from him and Isaac's wife from him to sleep with another man's wife. That's Pan-Africanism.
Damn right.
That's that.
Ooh,
That's that we learned.
damn.
That's Pan-Africanism. Sleeping with another brother's wife is being an African. So if you want to be Kemet, you want to be Ashanti or Ghanaian or whatever the hell you want to call it, that's that. Sleeping with other people's wives. So now you see why we do that, because we have an affinity to be just alike any nation that has held us in captivity. Go ahead, huh?
Beauty hath deceived thee, and lust hath perverted thine heart.
Y'all done let her being beautiful get all in your head. Now your nose wide open. And your man's just lied. Read on.
Verse 57. Thus have ye dealt with the daughters of Israel, and they for fear companied with you.
So the thing is that y'all have done this before. That this is a learned behavior. That this is something that has been done before. And this is something that our sisters today have to get out of. You just can't, out of fear or out of want, out of your life or needing money, lay with men or to give up your box. That your box doesn't provide you with work, sis.
Right.
You don't need to give your box to any man out of fear or out of want or hunger or thirst, because they're perverts if that's what they're intending for you to give them your box for. Change that, because this sister did. Read on out.
Come. But the daughters of Judah would not abide your wickedness.
She wasn't playing that.
She wasn't
You
going.
nasty. You nasty. And she ain't having it. She got a husband.
Yeah, right.
And she didn't want you old men. So let's drop that and take me down to, see, this is going to be my last part. Give me 61 and 62.
Come. Verse 61. And they arose against the two elders, for Daniel had convicted them of false witness by their own mouth.
So the thing is that if you for time's sake, I just want to end the class. The other elder, he said that they laid under a home tree. Both of them gave conflicting stories, which allowed Daniel to know that these men were lying against that sister. The moral of the story of what's going on is that, sisters, do not let your box or pleasure of life be what adds value to you as being a woman. There's countless numbers of scriptures, examples within the scriptures to give you enough knowledge and to understand that your box is not what equates to you as being a woman or being a valuable woman. Your value comes within your righteousness and the works of your hands. This is what adds the value to a woman. Brothers, if you're seeking a wife, seek a wife diligently. Study after that woman that you want to be with. Make sure that she is one that seeks after the heart of the Most High. That will show you there, one, that at least she has a mind willing to be submissive to her husband and to submit to the things that he wants. Two, see what her abilities are as a woman. There's skills that women possess that they know not in this day and age to tap into because they don't see the value in it for them. It doesn't add money to them. But everything that you do may not add value. It may just add another skill for your household. Like when I first met my wife didn't know how to braid hair. Now, the braidingest son of a gun I ever met. All she wanted to do is braid hair. See what I'm saying? She wasn't the best cook, but she learned how to do so. You know what I'm saying? This is just something that needs to be established within Israel. It needs to be put forth.
If I may, sir, Salaki, if I may, his wife learned what he wanted from him. She saw that what a righteous man of the Lord needed. It wasn't necessarily what he couldn't do for himself or what he was asking of her. She took it upon herself to see what was needed and did that.
Right.
She did that. And that's what a righteous man of the Lord does. That's what a sister who recognizes that her husband is her protection does. She is a helpmeet unto him. She helps him with what he needs. I can obviously do multiplication, but if I got a whole bunch of homework and I'm trying to do the work of the Lord, you better go ahead and do that homework, sis.
I'm right. I'm right. And with that, this is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, where we are led by the amazing Commander General Hunter. I'm going to pass the class over to Priest and Officer DeWayala for the security announcements.
We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, after 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment from the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. And the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10, means tenth in the Hebrew, Ma'asharah, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. Is the memorial of the blowing of trumpets. First day of the 7th month, Thursday, September 17th. From the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 24 through 25. Salaki. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And these are the security announcements.
And with that, we're going to give a courteous salute to the brothers and sisters. Men of Israel, I Majum Shabbat, I Majum, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Baruch Yazamata, Sar, turn and face the sister. Men of Israel, I Majum Shabbat, I Majum, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Yazamata, dismiss.
Please hold our talking to it clear online.